It might have felt a little strange lately, like something inside you is shifting, but you can't fully explain what it is yet, almost like there's a quiet pressure building from within. Maybe you've noticed moments where your mind feels a little foggy, or your chest feels tight for no clear reason, and part of you wonders what's going on. But here's something important to understand about moments like this. Not every heavy feeling means something is wrong. Sometimes those sensations appear when your life is quietly expanding into something new, when you're growing internally, when your awareness is changing. Your body and your energy need time to adjust to a larger version of who you're becoming. A lot of people imagine that transformation feels peaceful right away. But very often before the calm arrives, there's a phase where everything feels a little more intense, almost like your inner world is rearranging itself. It's the moment when your past, your present, and your future begin aligning into a single path. At first, it can feel confusing, but slowly something begins to make sense. You start seeing why certain situations had to change, why some people drifted out of your life, and why things you once tried so hard to hold together simply stopped working. And when that happens, many people start judging themselves. They think they're overwhelmed. They think they're failing somehow. But maybe there's another way to look at it. What if what you're feeling right now isn't a sign that you're falling apart, but a sign that you're expanding? Sometimes life leads us toward something bigger than we believed we were ready for. And when that movement begins, the first instinct is often to push harder, to do more, to fix everything quickly, to move faster. But then something strange happens. The more you try to force things forward, the more stuck everything begins to feel, almost as if nothing is flowing anymore, and many people interpret that as failure. But in reality, it can be something very different. Sometimes that pause is an invitation to slow down, to step back into your center, because you were never meant to build your life from constant pressure and urgency. You were never meant to run endlessly after every opportunity or every answer. There comes a moment in personal growth where movement stops coming from effort, and instead it begins to come from alignment. And this is where your mind becomes very important, because the mind likes to race. It jumps into the future. It revisits the past. It tries to solve everything all at once, but most anxiety is created exactly there, when our thoughts drift too far away from the present moment. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is return to where you are right now. Take a breath. Slow down for a moment. Allow yourself to simply exist in this moment, without needing to figure everything out immediately. Because when the noise in the mind begins to quiet, something else starts to appear. Clarity. And that clarity reminds you of something very important. You were never meant to live on emotional leftovers. You were never meant to settle for small fragments of comfort that never truly nourish your heart. Deep down, your soul is always searching for something more real. More love, more peace, more truth. And sometimes the journey toward that life begins during the moments that feel the most uncertain. So if things have felt heavier lately, if you've questioned yourself, if you've wondered why everything suddenly feels different, maybe it's not a sign that something is breaking down. Maybe it's a sign that something within you is quietly expanding. So be gentle with yourself during this process. Give yourself space to breathe. And remember that not every transformation reveals its meaning right away. Sometimes life begins rearranging itself, long before we understand where it's leading us. And often, the moment that feels the most unclear is the very moment a new path is beginning to form.